Hello and welcome to the Everything is Black and White podcast YouTube channel. We're 10 days into the January transfer window and there so far hasn't been too much noise about Newcastle United and incomings before the month is out. We know that Calvin Phillips currently looks like the most likely player to walk through the door at St James's Park before the end of the month. But apart from that, it's looking very, very light on the ground as Eddie Howe and Dan Ashworth look to save some of that money for the summer window, rather than spending it before the end of January. But on the other hand, when we're talking about players who could exit Newcastle United or even players who could come back to Tyneside, over the last couple of days, it seems like we've had quite a bit of movement on that front. Now, I'm going to start with Isaac Hayden. Yes, Isaac Hayden still plays for Newcastle United. He's still under contract with the club for another couple of years. He has been at Standard Liège in Belgium since the summer. Obviously had that quite disappointing loan spell at Norwich City last season. He joined the Belgian club in the summer, hoping to revitalise his career after falling down the pecking order at Newcastle United under Eddie Howe. It looks like he will be returning to Newcastle prematurely, though, after the Belgian club looked to cut short that loan deal. Just got some quotes here from the Standard Liège CEO, Pierre Liocht, who told a Belgian newspaper this week, "It's likely that Hayden won't come back to us. Yes, we wanted a player who brought an immediate superior quality to the team. Isaac had a lot of experience in the Premier League. He's a true number 6, capable of settling the game and being a stable element. But in the image of this team, he had some good games, but was then too inconsistent." Now, there's one line in that quote there from the CEO that caught my attention. He is a true number 6. Now, Newcastle United, really, if you ask the fans if they could strengthen one position this summer, it would be the number 6 position. I've even seen a couple of fans saying, would it be the worst thing in the world to bring Isaac Hayden back into the fold and maybe save a bit of money during Tonali's absence? For me, absolutely not. There's absolutely nothing against Isaac Hayden as a person. He's an absolutely fantastic professional. He was a very loyal servant to Newcastle United, but unfortunately he just hasn't cut the mustard in recent seasons. He obviously went to Norwich, where he suffered quite a bad knee injury, just couldn't get in that team as they had a really, really poor season straight after going down from the from the Premier League to the Championship. He's then got to Belgium, featured sporadically for Standard Liège. He hasn't been featured in the last couple of squads before the winter break, and I think fans will probably be with me on that one, that Hayden isn't the answer to Newcastle's problems at the moment. Elsewhere, another player who probably does not have a future at Newcastle United is Ryan Fraser. Famously left the club under a cloud just a couple of months ago. He joined Southampton on a season-long loan deal. He's done quite a little bit better than Isaac Hayden has over in Belgium. He's featured 23 times for the Championship side. 18 of those appearances did come off the bench, however. He scored 4 goals, a brace on Boxing Day against Swansea City as well. But despite, featuring quite heavily and playing quite a major part in Southampton's playoff push so far this season, another one who has quite an uncertain future, given that Southampton aren't too sure whether they're going to have the funds to sign him permanently in the summer. Speaking just a couple of days ago, Southampton manager Russell Martin said, "Would I like to make the deal permanent? Yes. The chance of it happening, I think, because of the finances involved, the timing and his situation, is unfortunately low. I don't know if it will be feasible right now, but he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's in a really good place and he's enjoying it." Ryan Fraser's pretty much came out and given an interview to Southampton's Daily Echo this week, where he's confirmed that he is very much enjoying his life at St Mary's. He wouldn't mind staying at the club beyond his initial loan deal. And he's also came out and said he doesn't see a future for himself at Newcastle United. And I think that's definitely the right call, especially if Eddie Howe remains as the manager, given they fell out quite publicly before he left the club. And just one more, as if you didn't think it could get bad enough for Newcastle's loanees and senior loanees at that. We've also got Jeff Hendrick, who some of you may have forgotten he's still at the club. He is currently at Sheffield Wednesday, who are struggling in the Championship. The Sheffield Star this morning reporting that after only 58 minutes of football since October, Sheffield Wednesday are considering cutting short his loan deal. Now, the difference with Jeff Hendrick and Ryan Fraser and Isaac Hayden is that Jeff Hendrick is out of contract in the summer anyway. I think unless there was a ridiculous miracle in the next couple of months, Jeff Hendrick will not be getting his contract extended on Tyneside. So Newcastle United don't really have to worry about him and what they do with him. If Sheffield Wednesday were to cut short that loan deal. As for Fraser and Hayden, Newcastle need to find a way to either get them off the books by mutually terminating their contracts, which will mean, payout, or finding another club to take on the loan deal. Now, obviously, Fraser, we know, is likely to stay at Southampton until the end of the season. Isaac Hayden, if he does return, which looks likely, is attracting interest. We know that Preston have inquired about him in the last couple of weeks. There's also been some speculation in recent days from some British outlets that Sheffield United in the Premier League could offer him a lifeline. Now, I think if you're Hayden, and at this stage in your career, you get offered a Premier League club, I think you jump at the chance. And that would be a very, very good move if that was to materialise. Obviously, there is some other players out on loan from Newcastle at the moment. Joe White is currently at League Two Crewe Alexander. They're looking to try and extend that loan deal until the end of the season. We've also got two youngsters in the Netherlands in the form of Garan Kowal and Yankuba Minter, experiencing two very different loan deals in the Netherlands at the moment. You've got Yankuba Minter at the champions Feyenoord, who are quite a way back from pushing PSV for the title, but obviously featured in Europe this season. Yankuba Minter, by all accounts, has really, really impressed their Feyenoord manager Arne Slot. Very, very positive about him in recent months. It looks like he's hit the ground running there. And it proves that it was a very, very good, shrewd move to send him to Feyenoord as soon as Newcastle United got that deal from Odense over the line. Grant Kowal obviously struggled at Hearts last season. Dan Ashworth and Shola Amiobi thought that was going to be the best move for him, given that at the time there was 3 or 4 players from the Australian national team playing up in Scotland at the club. That obviously didn't work out for him last season. He's gone to FC Volendam, who are currently only off the bottom of the Dutch top division on goal difference. Kowal featuring sporadically. He hasn't been a mainstay in that team. We did reach out to Kowal a couple of months ago to try and see if he wanted to do an interview with Chronicle Live. He said he wasn't going to talk about his Newcastle United future because he wanted to solely focus on how he was playing in the Netherlands, which I think you could say is very, very admirable. But another loan deal that maybe isn't working out for him. Elsewhere, we know, obviously, as you say, the January window has opened. Jamie Miley could be one player that moves out on loan. We understand that Newcastle were keen to move him out in the summer. They wanted to try and get a loan deal for him. Obviously, his brother Lewis doing absolutely fantastic in the first team, but Jamie Miley unfortunately picked up an injury earlier this season, which stopped him going out on loan. We could see a bit of movement on that before the end of the season to try and get him some first-team experience down the footballing pyramid. Obviously, Jamie Miley, former captain of the Newcastle Under-18s, a very, very prominent figure in Newcastle's youth setup. In terms of that, we don't think there's going to be any more outgoings. Obviously, Newcastle United really, really keen not to sell their key players this summer, despite interest from a couple of clubs, namely Bruno Guimaraes, attracting interest from the likes of PSG after he signed that contract just a couple of months ago with that release clause in. Bruno, likely to stay on Tyneside beyond this month in the summer, though I'm sure the questions will arise once again. But at the minute, for the players that are currently out on loan at Newcastle United, it's not looking too good. We are expecting, as I said, Hayden to return in the next couple of days. Where he goes after that is anyone's guess at the moment. As for Jeff Hendrick, his future again looking uncertain. Shola Amiobi having a little bit of a mixed bag of luck as his role as loan manager at the minute. Some loan deals working out very well, but others, unfortunately for Newcastle, seemingly not going too swimmingly.